Hey guys, this is lesson 6, solving proportions. So for this lesson, you're going to want to have either the worksheet in front of you or scrap paper, and then a calculator. And you're going to want that calculator when you try practice problems. So if you don't have a calculator at home, you can Google a calculator and use it on the computer. It's just a basic calculator. You're going to be multiplying and dividing. So this lesson is going to lead into our next lesson on similar triangles, and we're going to use proportions to solve when we solve for sides of similar triangles in our next lesson. So first we got to learn how to solve these proportions. So right now our goal is to try to find the answer of D. We looked at equivalent fractions last week, and this is very similar to that. But some of these may or may not be as easy to see as they were last week. So what we do is, if we're unsure of what this number is, we use cross multiplication. So what that means is we take D and we multiply it to the numerator of the opposite fraction. So we're going to do D times 44. And that gives us 44D. The equal sign stays in the middle. And now we're going to multiply the other two together. So we're going to take 40 and we're going to multiply by 88. So 40 times 88. So here's where you want your calculator. So if you're working with me, punch in 40 times 88. And we get 3,520. 3,520. And that's equal to what we had over here, 44D. So we just bring that down. So now this is a one-step problem with multiplication. So we do the inverse operation here. We're going to divide by 44 to get rid of it. And over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to divide by 44. So we're going to take 3,520 and divide by 44. And we get our answer of 80. Okay. We can check our work. I'm not going to check every single one of these, but I'll show you a couple of different ways to check. So now I'm going to plug in 80 for D. Okay, so if they're easy enough to see, we might be able to tell that if we take 88 and divide that by 2, we get 44. And if we take 80 and divide it by 2, we get 40. So that's using the scale we talked about last week. The other thing is, just like we multiplied across here, these will be the same if we multiply here. So we already know that 88 times 40 was 3,520. So here we want to check and make sure that 80 times 44 is also 3,520. So I'm going to write this all down. So we want to see if 88 times 40 is equal to 80 times 44. So 88 times 40, I'm going to my calculator, is equal to 3,520. And then we'll just do this one more time. 80 times 44 is 3,520. Okay, so when we plug them back in, these are going to match these cross products, we call them. Okay, so cross multiplication. Let's move on to number 2. So here, and it doesn't matter which way we start. Last time we started here, but if we start here, we're not going to have our variable on this side. So if you like that variable first, we could show this first. So we've got 43 times x. It's just going to give us 43x. And then over here, I'm doing 41 times 86. So 43x is equal to, in our calculator, 41 times 86, 3,526. So now we have a one-step equation. We want to do the inverse operation here. So we divide by 43 to get rid of it. Divide by 43. So in my calculator, I'm going to divide 3,526 by 43, and I get 82. Okay. So now I'll check this one. Again, I won't check them all. We'll just check a couple here so that you know how to check it. So over here I have 86, and now my x, I believe, is 82. So I can make sure that these cross products match each other. We already saw here that 41 times 86, 41 times 86 was 3,526. So that will save us some time. We want to make sure that 43 times 82 gives us the same thing. So I'm going to go to my calculator and do 43 times 82, and I do get 3,526. Okay, so that does check out. All right. If you think you're getting the hang of this, pause your video and try out 3. Again, I'm going across here. We have multiplication. 17 times D is equal to that other side. I've got 18 times 51. Going to my calculator, and I'm doing 18 times 51, and I get 918. Now I have a one-step equation. I do the inverse operation and divide by 17. So in my calculator, I'm doing 918 divided by 17, and I've got 54. Okay. Again, pause the video, try 4 out on your own. C times 22 is 22C. On the other side, I've got 24 times 66. I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to do 24 times 66, and I get 1,584. I'm just rewriting my 22C down. One-step equation, inverse operation. I'm going to divide by 22. In my calculator, 1,584 divided by 22 is 72. Pause your video. Try 5. I'm going to start with my variable. X times 30 is 30x. Crossing the other way, I have 94 times 15. Go to my calculator. I'm going to multiply 94 times 15. I get 1,410. Just bringing down 30x. It's a one-step equation. Inverse operation here. I'm going to divide each of these by 30. So in my calculator, 1,410 divided by 30 gives me 47. All right, we got one more to go. Pause your video, give it a try. Here, my variable is in the numerator. It doesn't matter. We could still start with that variable. I've got 3 times a, which is 3a. And then on the other side, I have 6 times 36. I'm going to go to my calculator here and do 6 times 36. Get 216. Now I've got 3a equals 216, or 3 times what number is 216? My one step. I do the inverse. I divide by 3. in my calculator, 216 divided by 3 gives me 72. Okay, now I picked some pretty easy ones for us to do. We could have proportions that are a bit more complex, and you will see those next year, I'm sure. You could also have proportions that don't come out as whole numbers. Okay, but I chose ones that worked nicely for us to make it a little bit easier on you. All right, thanks for joining me today. See you again in a couple of days.